Hey guys, how's it going? So, Game Update 13 came out about a week ago now. And if you're not aware, it's been pretty busted. There's been so many issues with Game Update 13. Only a handful of what I would call game breaking bugs and issues, but there's just been so many small annoyances with the game ever since the update. Everything from the matchmaking not working for a lot of people, and you're having to kind of go in and fiddle around with some different stuff to get that working, to undocumented changes which have massive impacts on people's games, such as the undocumented change that many of us were told was most likely coming but was not in the patch notes, about elevators getting nerfed by roughly 45% of their export value in Docklands. Now, a lot of us on Discord and Facebook and stuff, we knew about that because the developers did mention that to us on Discord, and me and several others tried to spread that information among the community, but it was not in the patch notes. But we found out about it just by testing and trying to figure out what all they changed in the game that we were expecting but were not seeing in the notes. So stuff like that, and then of course the continual crashes that people are getting, performance issues, scenario stuff in the scenario is broken. Some of it's broken to the point where some people can't even do the scenario. So what is the point of me saying all this? Well, Ubisoft Minds has a bad history of releasing patches that are not fully tested. They spend a long time. We only get a patch every few months or so, and even for bugs that are absolutely game breaking, it can be 2 to 3 months before we get a patch that fixes it. Why is this a problem? Yes, it is. Some people say it's not a problem, that's just normal. No, that's not normal. I've played a lot of different games, and when a patch is released and game breaking bugs or things that are not working as intended and causing people massive issues with their games come up, they release thing called hot fixes. We don't get hot fixes in Anno. They just don't do them. My understanding from talking to some of the Ubisoft companions is that the development team at Minds prefers to create a huge patch, these big patches, and then they go through and they validate and test everything. But obviously their testing is very lackluster. Stuff keeps breaking. What is the deal with this? Well, conversations with other people, very well-known modders and different people like that, have made me really come to realize that the developers seem to be like copying code. They just literally are Control X and Control C code all over the place. And sometimes they're grabbing code that's really old. Currently, grain is also broken in Docklands and is valued 6 times under what it normally should be. Grain should have if you were comparing elevators, exporting elevators and importing grain, it should be a ratio of 1 elevator for about 21 grain, roughly. Right now, it's 1 elevator to 234 grain. It's a bit busted. Why is that? Well, that's because for some reason they copied old code for grain from an old build before Docklands was even a thing, that removed a line that told Docklands how to handle the calculation. They added some lines into the code to get Docklands to recognize how to appropriately calculate the export value based on the factory type or the main factory. They added that in after Docklands. Before Docklands, that line did not exist. This is also why elevators were broken, because they forgot to put that line in. But they took that line out on grain because they were copy pasting code. Why? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But it really goes to show how just rushed that they're doing a lot of this stuff. They are really rushing through the patches. They're rushing through testing. They're rushing through QA. They're rushing to get things out, but at the same time, they're taking forever to get the patches out to us. Right now, it is December the 19th. The patch, Game Update 13, has been out for for about a week almost now. Almost a week, just a couple days shy. And we were told that now we probably don't expect to hear anything from them until early January. And that's just to hear from them. I personally don't expect an update to fix some of the issues. Obviously, not everything's going to get fixed. They never fix everything. But I don't expect a patch until probably February, honestly, at this point. I don't expect a patch until then. We're a few days before Christmas. People are taking off work. Nothing is going to get done until probably after the first of the year before they start trying to fix and validate the problems and everything. Will some stuff get fixed? Sure, I'm sure a lot of things will get fixed. But my fear is that it's just going to introduce even more bugs. That has been historical. You can go back and you can look it up. It is historical. Every time they fix stuff, they break other things, and then they fix those things and they break other things. And then old bugs reappear because they use old code, and it creates more bugs that they fixed in the past, but they forgot to use the right code, so things get broken again. And it's a vicious cycle that drives me absolutely bonkers. So what is the point of all this? The point is, I'm worried about Season 4. I'm seriously concerned about Season 4 and the stability of the game going forward. They have a relatively small development team in terms of, size. Yes, they're Ubisoft, but they're Ubisoft minds. They're just a small little cog in the wheel of the Ubisoft parent company. They don't have a very big team. They don't have the endless resources of Ubisoft that just pours money at things like Assassin's Creed and all of those other games. They have a very small team with a smaller budget. Now they're taking that same team that has, yes, put out okay content lately. I would not say Season 3 was like stellar, to be honest. A lot of people know my thoughts on that. Season 3 was okay. It was not stellar. It introduced a lot of issues. There was a lot of balancing problems. It was clearly not tested very well. But they're trying to fix it the best they can, but at the same time, they've introduced things that they just can't fix, and the balance is all over the place. But now they're going to try to develop 3 new DLCs alongside 3 new scenarios. And they have already set the bar for scenarios so unbelievably high with Eden Burning. They've introduced all sorts of crazy new mechanics into Eden Burning that we've never seen before. So that bar is set so high now that they need to meet or exceed that bar, or people aren't going to like the scenarios, because now we've been given this amazing scenario, and people are going to be like, if they just throw a scenario at us like, hey, build this building before the AI does, people are going to be like, well, what's this crap? This is stupid. I don't want to play this scenario. Where's a scenario like Eden Burning? I want that level of scenario. So they have set the bar so high for themselves that they now have to try to make 3 appropriately sized DLCs to warrant the cost of what $25, $30 for a season pass. They need to make 3 DLCs worth that money, plus 3 scenarios that meet or exceed the bar that they have set for themselves. And they really need to do a better job with Season 4 than they did Season 3, and not continuously break mechanics, or people are just going to start getting kind of fed up. A lot of people are really fed up right now. That's kind of a scary thing. I know a significant number of people who have quit playing the game over the last week because of all the breaking issues. I know a lot of people who can't even load their games up because as soon as they do, everything is broken because of the bugs right now. So they can't even play. So their drive to play Season 4 is pretty low. Of course, we don't know what's coming in Season 4 yet. We haven't been told. We're not going to get told it's coming until March. So until March, what do we have to do? The same thing we've been doing since High Life released, plus this new scenario, which many people have already beaten on gold because you can cheat and use the tree painter tool to basically negate an entire part of the scenario's mechanics. And so that's not going to get fixed until February. So everybody beats it on gold. There's no reason to go back and play it again. That scenario has extremely limited replayability. Once you beat it on gold, there's no reason to go back. There's no achievements tied to it. You get the ornament. It's a gold metal tree looking thing with a fountain around it. And that's it. That's it. There's no reason to go back and play that scenario anymore. It has no replay value to it. So people are going to quit playing the scenario pretty quickly after they beat it. A lot of people are bored of the game because, there's nothing else to do. Beauty builders are still playing because they are playing with vibrant cities and they're making their cities all pretty. Record builders can't play at the moment, really. At least they can't play their existing saves because of the aforementioned bugs and stuff. So what's there left to do? Sit around on our hands and wait for news about Season 4, basically, until March of 2022. And it's December at the moment. But to sit around this whole time and wait for something. But again, they have so much that they have set themselves up to try and do, and I'm worried that they can't do it. I'm worried that they cannot produce quality content for us being stretched that thin to do scenarios and DLC. I think that we're going to get scenarios and DLC that look good and look grand from a marketing standpoint, but once it comes down to the actual gameplay, it's going to be pretty meh. It's probably going to be like Botanica level stuff. Botanica should not have been a DLC. It added a building with some plants you can go and find. Whoop-de-doo. I don't see the 3 DLCs being these big, massive overhauls of game. People are thinking, that they're going to add in all these massive things. I really don't think so, guys. I think they're going to be very, very small things, like a DLC adding in one new tier of residents to the new world with some new production chains. Okay, fine. That's okay. I think there's going to be a DLC about production, basically, and it's going to be production focused on increasing the production output of your existing stuff that we currently already have. Probably something like electricity, things like that, to boost production. Someone actually thought maybe that they could build out into the water, kind of like the Harbor Life mod does, and lets you build things out in the water. That's an idea there. But it's not going to be like, Land of Lions scale DLC. It's going to be very small stuff. It's going to be a few buildings and a few things. I honestly see multi-factories being played really, really heavily into it. I really see multi-factories coming in really big with this upcoming season because it lets them get away with not having to do a whole lot in terms of building design, and they can have one building that can do lots of stuff, and they just throw the code on that building and they're done. It lets them get away with doing a little bit more with way less. And I think that kind of cheapens the whole thing. One other thing I really think you should have attention to, or bring your attention to, is the fact that they are absolutely overhauling their engine right now. The engine is being redone. The entire language of the game's code is being moved over. They're moving it over from, let me see, what was it again? Find that little, where I was discussing that with somebody. So basically, they are nuking Python. The game is written in Python. Well, that is for all of the people who mod out there, that's that Python 35.dll, Python 32, whatever the Python file is. The code for the game is written in Python. They are replacing it with LUA. But what they did in Game Update 13 is they pushed out a half-complete, half-baked API for GU13. What that means is a lot of stuff is not working correctly, or there's a lot of things that are not implemented fully and only implemented partially, and it causes a lot of back-end problems. They're trying to update their entire API for the game a little bit at a time because they want their engine updated for the next Anno game, most likely. That I'm calling it now. They are probably working in tandem between a new Anno game and trying to do DLCs and scenarios for Anno 1800. So I think they're trying to do a lot of stuff at once, which means we as the players are going to get less from them in terms of what our current game has. Between all of that, between them trying to update the API, them trying to do too much, and they set the bar too high, most likely working on the next Anno game at the same time as well. They're trying to do too much. Now, the designers, like the developers and programmers, are probably not working on the next Anno. I would say most likely the art teams and stuff are. They're probably creating what the game is going to look like based on, their decisions about what the next game is going to be. The programmers are trying to, work on the new content and everything that's coming for Anno 1800. but it's just too much. I think they're doing too much, and I think we as the players are going to suffer. What is that doing to me as a content creator and as a player? It's burning me out so bad right now. I'm getting so burnt out on people complaining constantly. The game doesn't work. The game crashes. This isn't working. That's not working. I've hit this bug. I've hit that bug. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. Why is this here? Why? So many people having so many issues with the game these days. And it's overwhelming to them. It's completely overwhelming for players, and they are just throwing more stuff on. Someone said the other day, and I think it's a perfect analogy, Anno is duct taped together at this point. They just keep throwing stuff on top of it and duct taping mechanics together without it having any real sense of flow and making it make any sense. They just throw stuff on top just to compound it. It doesn't make it more complex. It doesn't make it more interesting. It just makes it more clunky. And that's all they're doing. And I think that's all they're going to do in Season 4, is just make it more and more clunky. So it just really has me worried. And I really thought, I've been wanting to kind of get this out and talk about this, whether you want to hear it or not, is that's not here. That's neither here nor there. But, I really just felt like it needed to be said that, me as someone who is heavily involved in the community, talks to a lot of people. I talk to many, many people. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel out there. People watch my videos not nearly as much as you think, but I feel like I talk to enough people that I get a sense of what the community is feeling, and I feel that same way, that things are just not going in the best of directions sometimes. And I feel like they should have scaled back, not done Season 4, and focused on getting us a new game out. Anno 1800 does not need to be milked for all it's worth. It really doesn't. They don't need to sit there and keep milking it, but I'm sure the bigwigs at Ubisoft want them to keep milking it, so they're going to keep putting out content, keep charging us more and more money for half-baked mechanics and half-baked DLC content. So that's really, this is more just a me having to get this stuff off my chest and want to just kind of put it out there, get some conversation going with you guys, see what you think about it. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. What are your thoughts and everything? Are you excited about Season 4? I know a lot of people are, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not telling you not to be excited. If you're excited, that's fine. What I'm saying is, maybe think about it. Think about what they can possibly give us at this point when they are stretched so thin on so much they're trying to probably do at the moment. Just let me know down below what you think. Are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? Are you worried about it? Are you done with it? Whatever you want to say down below, just let me know. And with that, guys, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, just be sure to leave a like down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on everything. And I will see you later. Have a great day. Take care.